All right. Good evening, creatives. I pray all is well with you and yours, and I thank you for being a part of our general meeting 2025, our first meeting for the year. I am really happy that you can be here. I know that there are some activities that are going on right now, but I do appreciate you being here. And for those who may not have been able to attend, I'm sure you, in your time, will be able to connect with them and let them know of some of the things that are happening in our community. So I'm calling this meeting to order, and I will begin with industry updates. And with our industry updates, we're going to invite persons who may be with us right now to the mic just to give us a few updates from their sector. We want to stay as connected as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look through our list here. I'm going to see who's here. And let's start with Eco Orange. I believe Alexis Ferguson is one of the administrators for Eco Orange, and they're going to let you know a little bit about what this group entails and how that impacts you as a creative.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for that introduction. Good night, everyone. My name is Alexis Ferguson. Attending a meeting like this for the Bahamas Screen and Stage Association, so I appreciate the floor. Eco Orange, as was introduced, it stands for Economy Orange, which is obviously a play on the orange economy, which is the sector um, that really is for us creatives to find our place in the corporate world, whether that comes to professional opportunities or just getting more out there as sharing the creative space, whether that's in studio art, performance art, XYZ. So I know a lot of us in this industry have had the experience of growing up telling people, hey, that we're interested in this, and basically getting the response of like, oh, there's no in that, that doesn't make any sense. Like, okay, like go do your little artsy stuff, but make sure you like get something on the side because there's no way you're ever gonna like be profitable in that industry. And that could be very isolating, very discouraging. Luckily these days, that kind of mindset is shifting, but it's still kind of prevalent and pervasive. So Eco Orange is kind of born out of an idea that I don't know if you guys might know somebody called Basil Silverny, but it was him who really had the idea of like he's been in this industry as an artist, as a videographer and editor for a while, and really connected to some really great creatives out there, whether that's like Jiggy Productions or just a few of his just in his circle. He knows a lot of creatives that have voiced these frustrations. But he's noticed that a lot of people would come to him to be like, hey, do you know somebody that can do this? Do you know an actor? Do you know a writer? Do you know a singer? A lot of people were just like, it's very word of mouth. So he was like, why can't I create a place where I could just put everybody in a group and send out these casting calls, these events, these networking opportunities, just so that we could build that community and also get people who really have no idea where to get started, get their foot in the door, could have this easy resource to find out about actual paid opportunities or just even social opportunities in the orange economy and the creative economy, to kind of make it easier. So that's what Eco Orange is. We are a group of about 350. We have a team of four admins that are kind of manning it. We live in a WhatsApp community right now. So if you're interested in anything that I said and really just would like to have that resource, I'll type the information in the chat. Basically, you could just send me a message and I'll add you to the group. But that's pretty much who we are. And if there's any questions, feel free to ask. I'm one of the admins. Like I said, Basil is one. I don't know if you probably have met Shad Fur. He is one. And then there's Rosalind. Some of you might know some of these names that popped up, but and I also have Miss. I hope she doesn't mind me mentioning her, but Tanvika that's on the call
Go
as
ahead.
well.
Hi, everyone.
Hi there, Tanvika. I don't know if you want to say anything to add to that. Um, But that's pretty much the consensus of this. And then we have like I said, we live in that WhatsApp community, but we also are planning to get a little bit more active because we're very, very new. We started like in the fall of 2024 and hoping to start ramping up with more events, more opportunities, more networking opportunities, and yeah, just getting to know people and seeing them thrive and succeed.
Excellent. That is so wonderful that you guys have invested your talents into creating community amongst us creatives. And that's the same thing that we're trying to do. We're trying to allow for more opportunities, as you have mentioned, through collaboration, through um, just sharing the knowledge, sharing the wealth, and allowing persons to be more aware of what's happening. And we're so excited that you guys have come together to do this. I would like you, if you can, to put your maybe how persons can get onto this group. I don't know if there's an email or a contact where persons, if they
Yes,
want
I
to
think
join.
WhatsApp actually has join links. So I'm gonna put the join link.
Yes, please, if you can put that join link into the chat, that would be great. That would be wonderful. We need to continue to create together. So that is awesome, and I thank you for your presentation. If there is anyone else on the call that is in charge of a festival, they're in charge of an event, maybe they're from the Division of Culture, from the Bahamas Film Commission, or any sort of organization that helps to create creatives and help to push creative goals. Please introduce yourself and let us know if there's anything that is coming up out there that creatives should know about. No one out there? Okay. All right, so we'll move on. So what I'm going to do now, while we're doing our industry updates, I'm going to invite anybody that is a part of a premiere or exhibition that is coming up. I want you to let the community know what you are doing and how they can support. The floor is yours. No one has anything coming up at the moment.
Hi.
Okay, we have someone. Introduce yourself and let us know what is happening.
Hello, this is Leonardo Newman. I'm excited to announce that Look Up Child is having a showing at a. Sorry, I have babies in the background. Look Up Child, my feature film, is having a showing at Evangelistic Temple on February 28th at 7 p.m. So tickets are $15 and they will go on sale, I want to say, in the next few days. And you can get them from newhillproductions.com/look up child. But obviously, we'll post a lot of stuff about it. But it just happened, so just decided to share now.
Awesome, awesome. And many persons would know Leonardo Newman. He is a rising star in our community. Leonardo, if you can post that link to your site in our chat group, that would be great for persons who would like to visit the site and also be able to access those opportunities to see the film. Also, I don't know if you are for that event looking for interns, looking for persons to work along with you, or seeking some sort of support outside persons who are just invited to attend. Let us know if those opportunities are open.
Yes, thank you for bringing that up. We are also looking to bring on interns at New York Productions. So I don't know if I could share a flyer in the chat, but I guess I will share an email in the chat to persons who are interested. They can send a resume to, I'll put the email in the chat. Make life easy.
Awesome. We really appreciate that. Is there anybody else that has something that's coming up very soon that would like to share and share any opportunities that may be relevant to our creative community?
Hello.
Greetings. Introduce yourself and let us know what's happening.
Hi there. This is Salem. I'm an actor, but I'm also a producer slash director. And what I want to announce is my upcoming podcast, Satiation and Cinema. It's going to be released on YouTube, and it's going to be covering fulfillment specifically through the lens of the creation of art. Yeah. I'm gonna be focusing on mainly Bahamian artists. So look out for that coming soon. I will be posting information on that as well. Thanks.
That is wonderful, Salem. That is exactly what we need. And in fact, I don't know if you have any links, emails, any ways where persons can contact you, because how I find that um, persons being able to reach out to you, I think that's gonna do a lot of good. Uh,
Yes.
and giving you stories
My
or ideas, anything like that. So if you have
yes, of
email,
course. I'm definitely open to that. My email is my name, Salem Cunningham, SALEM @gmail.com. I'm gonna put it in the chat as well. My Instagram is Salem the Joy. My Facebook is my name, Salem Cunningham, and I'm receptive on all of those.
thank you so much. Definitely,
I'm
we look
sorry, you're
forward.
breaking up, Trevon.
Can you hear me now? Hello? Is it me? Okay, I don't see
We can
my.
still hear you, Ramon. You good?
Okay, all right. Well, Salem, if you can hear me, please definitely put that information in the chat, please, the Instagram, the email, any way that we can contact you for persons who may be interested in being on your show. And that is definitely good news. Please, is there anybody else that has anything that is coming up that the community can benefit from?
Hey, what's going on, Trevon? It's Dawn here.
Dawn, introduce yourself and tell us what's happening.
Yes, yes. It's Dawn Rolle here, fellow creative for a number of years, working currently as a video production coordinator. So yeah, I have a few things actually coming up, a little different from my usual role. It's actually a few books. I have a few books that's gonna be released pretty soon. A romance novel, a fantasy storybook, and also a Bahamian based superhero book.
Well, that sounds great. And the thing is that we need that sort of content and variation in genre. So if you have any sort of way that our creatives can contact you,
Hello?
any Salem, you're back.
Yes. Sorry, disconnected. Is it only doing that for me?
Yeah, I believe so.
Oh, right.
But you're
Sorry
back.
about
That's the
that.
most important thing. Just make sure you
Mm-hmm.
put that information in the
Yes.
chat because I'm sure a lot of creators wants to want to connect with you.
Yes, please. Thank you so much.
No problem. And Don, you mentioned your titles. You're working on your these books. Please, if you have a contact, and I know you'll be coming up with further presentations later on, but please put your contact now. There may be persons who may be of the mindset they contact you right now pertaining to those content, and maybe even try to see if they can opt you for a script. But please make your contact available to us and let's see where that goes. Before we close out this section, is there anybody else that has anything that's coming up? Any event that's coming up? Maybe you're acting in something, maybe you are planning something. Please let me know for the benefit of our creative community.
Hi, yes. Good evening, everyone. My name is Linda Shea Johnson. Recently returned home from my studies, in theater and all of the other things. I am going to be in the Dundas's play, A Witness for the Prosecution by Agatha Christie, coming up the last weekend in March and the first weekend in April. I know it's a little further out, but we would love your support. We would love for you guys to come out. I don't have any information on tickets yet. We haven't even started rehearsal. But would love for you guys to come out. I'm very excited to be acting at home again. I haven't acted since 2018, so I'm very excited. And hope you guys to come out and support. Thank you.
Len Riche, we are excited with you, and definitely put the production that you're in the chat. I'm not sure, are they still casting? If there's any other opportunities regarding that production, let us know. And we'll be sure to follow up with that as well. Okay, if there is no other contribution pertaining to premieres and exhibitions coming up, pertaining to other community notices, or if you have a project that is coming up and you're looking for funding, collaboration, or some sort of community support, if you have an idea and you're ready to go ahead and you're looking for some form of partnership, I'm going to give you a few minutes just to say what it is and what you need before we move on to our BASA updates. I know a lot of persons are usually very shy with releasing information pertaining to their contents, upcoming projects, but I know making the weight lighter, I think, is going to be one of our foremost objectives this year. We have all tried to do it all ourselves. So if you do need help, if you're
I need
looking
help.
for actors, go ahead.
So what I could use that I'm currently on the lookout for are some microphones, like audio equipment.
So you're looking for like podcasting microphones or like something that's on set.
I was thinking more of the clip-on microphones
Okay.
because I plan on filming outside.
Okay. So you're planning on filming outside. So definitely consulting one of our persons who's pretty good in audio may help you as well, because with the clip-on, sometimes they're vulnerable to the rustling from the breeze. Leonardo, would you be able to contact Salem a bit later pertaining to what mic she should maybe go with? Leonardo, are you there?
Sorry, what I asking, Salem?
Yeah, so Salem is trying to get mics that is going to function well outside, and usually breeze is a problem
Yeah.
for us who usually film outside. So I just like you to connect with her a bit later, maybe in the chat, just to kind of advise her as to what she can look for and how she can get what she's looking for before as we go on. All
All right,
right,
that sounds good. Salem, send me a
lots of
message.
connection right there.
Alrighty. Thank you so much.
Anybody else? Anybody else need to be connected? You have something that's coming up? And we have a lot of talented professionals in this room, so take the opportunity. You might have a great project, you might have a solid log line, and somebody is ready to go in the bank account. You want to make sure that you take as much opportunities as you can to partner. Going once, going twice. All right, so we are going to move on to our next section, but before that, I see a message here for, okay, so that's the witness for the prosecution by Agatha Christie. Okay, thank you so much for putting that in the chat for us. So we're going to move on to our BASA updates. So the first update, I just want to bring the community up to date with some of the things that are happening with us at present. So at present, we are seeking funding to address incorporated office fees. So in terms of getting our non-profit incorporated status, that includes a legal arrangement that includes office fees. And because our membership structure is not in as yet, we've been having a challenge regarding keeping this status, which would allow us to grant right for your projects in the future. So right now, the bill isn't too exorbitant. We are looking at just over $1,000. We have already paid a good amount towards it, but we want to clear this so that when our bank account snaps into place, there wouldn't be anything that delays it. Our bank account will allow us to begin grant writing. That's the last piece of the puzzle pertaining to our abilities as a nonprofit at the moment. So anybody that is able to assist, if you know of anybody, I know creatives are, it's a struggle. The struggle is real for our creatives, definitely. But we want to change that. We want to put ourselves in a position throughout all of the legal wrangling we've been doing over the past couple of years to get ourselves into this position. We want to make sure that we can get creatives in a better position funding wise, but we just want to make sure that we address this incorporated office fee. Once we do that, we should be able to get the bank account, and we should begin the grant writing process. In fact, we've already had government interest in supporting us, but of course, some things have to be in order before that happens. So just want to bring you up to date with that. If you are interested or you know of somebody that may be able to help to bring this bill down, I will put our email address in the chat. It's basainfo@gmail.com. It's pretty easy, basainfo@gmail.com. And that will go a long way in terms of helping us to really decrease the time by which we get rolling. And the next update pertaining to BASA is that we are seeking to have elections for our board of directors at the end of 2025. So at present, I'm the acting president, and it is my job at the moment to ensure that our present team cleans up all legal and financial structures that are needed to be in place to ensure that the executive structure can be paid, the director structure can be paid, and to ensure that our organization is in a position to get funding and to truly have an influence in terms of how we do business and how we create in the years to come. So this year, 2025, is going to be critical. So it is my aim to ensure we do things quickly. The only way how we're going to do things quickly is if we do it together. So it is my goal to establish pretty much an executive team. And that executive team, those persons who will be on those executive teams will be eligible to run for leadership in the coming election. I would like persons who are familiar with the organization, what we are doing, and the layout to take the reins of this organization at the end of 2025. At the end of 2025, we're going to have some surprises coming up too. But that executive team is going to know first before I release it to the rest of the community. So if you are interested in serving this community of creatives, if you love filmmakers, if you love stage creatives, if you want to see this thing turn into something that is more than just a side gig, if you want to truly embrace all of your creative passion, please, and you would like to see other persons do so as well, please contact us at basainfo@gmail.com. Write us at basainfo and just let us know you're interested. Put down your contact, and I will be sure to get to you because we are going to be moving very quickly this year. The next update is that I just want to thank all of the persons who were part of our last general meeting that was in December 2024, and all of the person who attended our creative mingle, and that was such a great time, and we would love to do so many more activities just like that. So that's why we're trying to get our financial structuring together. But before we get into the agenda for this meeting, I would just like to highlight a few special mentions and contributions from the last general meeting, just so that you can be abreast of those things. So one of the things that was mentioned in the last meeting was that the grant process for the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, it begins this month, January 2025. So we were encouraging all of our creatives, please, if you're looking for some startup funding, I want you to fill out that form. I'm going to copy the link that I have here. I'm going to copy that so that you can, with the little time that you may have, so that you can apply, put something down for a project that you have coming up. All right, so I want you to take that seriously. That is mygateway.gov.bs MYSC. All right, so you can find the grant application form there. All right, there's not much time left. So as soon as you can, if you have a project, let's see if that can get some funding. All right. Also, this year, the Bahamas Film Commission is seeking to assist worthy projects with funding as well. So our commissioner, Clarence Rolle, he mentioned that in the last GM. So please get in contact with the Bahamas Film Commission and see where they are with that financial aid, okay? In addition, they are going to be introducing the Movie Masters series again. And I'll tell you this, that was a very beneficial series, and we got to meet a lot of great persons who worked in the field. Persons who worked on Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That was one of the most memorable ones for me. And them breaking down how they think of running a business in terms of making films. And even with them sharing some of the things that we could be looking towards in terms of getting our industry going. So when that series comes up, please be a part of it. Ask a lot of questions. We need all hands on deck. And then also the commissioner mentioned that they are working on a special project that would allow for creatives to get equipment, very expensive equipment. Maybe this equipment is going to take a lot of hassle to get into the country. They're going to help you with that by working with customs. So please, if you have something major coming up, remember that the film commissioner mentioned that they have a special project they're working on that can help Bahamians get equipment into the country. And they also have a memorandum of understanding with Miami-Dade County regarding cooperation with the Bahamas regarding film. So you want to check in pertaining to that and see if you can take advantage of that. So that's the Bahamas Film Commission, all right? So check them out and see what is there for you. Then we had Corel Pinder. She mentioned a few things. She has been a leading advocate of the film and stage industry. We all know the Star Film Institute has been doing amazing work, and we know that she has a showing tomorrow because The Affair is going to be staged at Bahamas Harvest. That's Friday, January 31st, and Saturday, February 1st. So for those who can go, please let's support her. She's been a great advocate of our community. And for those who can't, let's just share the message, let other people know that something's going on at Bahamas Harvest, and let's keep each other going. And then we had Alana Robinson from Grand Bahama. She's all about film tourism, and has been talking to us about industry feedback, about the need for training, creative spaces, creative products. She's hoping for Grand Bahama to wake up as a creative hub. And then she also mentioned Ian Poitier's Performing Arts School, which we have to definitely check into and see how we can collaborate. She says there's a need for integration and collaboration. That has been a consistent theme in our conversations. Matthew Kelly and Tyree Moss also echoed the same thing. So how do we get together? Let's get together. How do we respond to getting together? A lot of persons are pretty shy. They just want to kind of work with the same persons they've always worked with. And maybe it keeps you safe, but I haven't seen persons go swimming on the sand, on the beach. They go into the water to go swimming. They go into the deep. So we can't always be safe. We have to connect and see what pieces are out there that may be able to take your project on a different playing field. And we had Ruckus Man. He talked about the older generation of creatives being overlooked for emerging talent and the need for a spotlight on the things we have done comparable to other disciplines like sports. So I don't know what you guys think. And we have to ask the question, why aren't film and stage creatives in the spotlight like those persons who are in sports, like the Buddy Heels, like the Golden Girls? Well, maybe we haven't gotten into a big enough arena. We do have some very powerful creatives, persons who have really gotten into the international sphere. But have we done enough? Have we gone far enough? And has their work been really representative of our entire community? So we have to think about that. And another person, Mogul Vision, I believe that's CJ Munnings. He talked about us having more structure, discipline, overcoming our own mentalities, and also using our frustrations, like the frustration that Ruckus Man had talked about, being left out of the spotlight. Using those frustrations as creatives to take us further. So I thought about how many films are about what we're dealing with. How many films are about the creative process? I don't know, but I know Janico Pratt from Bright Light Studios. They just released not too long ago Struggles and Dreams. They had a stage play, and I think then they had a film. And it's about somebody who's trying to make it in the creative industry. And I think that may make for a good case study to see if CJ Munnings, his idea of taking our frustrations to go further, can pan out. Then we had Nicholas Hall from No Budget Productions. I believe Nick is here. And he was highlighting some of the challenges we face when it comes to production. He spoke about it being costly. Of course, financing a film in the Bahamas is difficult. And then he mentioned we lack discipline and follow through. And then he also spoke about pro bono dealings. And one of the most important things he mentioned is that we are still finding it very hard to crack the Bahamian market. And the thing is if you know anything about No Budget Productions, they are not afraid of tapping into different genres. And even though they have a high track record of completions, being able to approach productions that are generally welcomed in a lot of places, it's still very hard to know what Bahamian audiences want. And then we have Leonardo Newman, who is here with us from New Hill and Why Christ Media. He talked about the thing that every creative really dreads, which is putting on a business cap. I like baseball caps, but what about a business cap? How do you negotiate with movie houses that have bigger international offerings? you want to get the same room that another movie is showing in. How do you negotiate? I think about it. Is the rental approach for Fusion Superplex and screen venues like Atlantis even viable if you are looking to make a profit? And I think we have to talk about this more in depth because, as we know, when a movie is done, it has to play someplace. So we have to think about how many times should it play, how many people have to be in seats, how much should the rent be per seating, how much should we be paying those venues per seating of the film, for us to actually think about crossing that red line and making a profit in theaters. So I think some time has to go into working those numbers out. And I think all of these were interesting points. And we may be able to touch on some of them in this meeting. But we know that this group, the Bahamas Stage and Screen Association, is committed to making this work for creatives. And so I thank you all again for being here. And we're going to now go into our industry presentation for today. In fact, this presentation is being conducted by Don Rolle, who earlier introduced himself. He's a film creative. He specializes in VX. We go a long way back, even the primary school, we go a long way back. But today he's going to expound a bit on the AI conversation we had almost 2 years ago. Matthew Kelly spoke about it, and he said that the AI revolution is coming. Now it's here. We look at DeepSeek is upending things in the United States. We see all sort of millions of dollars, billions of dollars going into Project Stargate under the Trump administration. How does that impact you? Can you stop the wave that is coming, or should you be learning to surf? So hopefully this presentation can provide some insight as we dive a bit deeper into 2025. So, Don, you can come on and introduce yourself. I'm going to make you co-host so you can share your screen. Don, you can come on. Don, are you there?
Yeah, right now. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I was trying to get it hooked up. Yeah, but good night, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here with my fellow comrade, Catman. Like I say, Triple One has been a, definitely an inspiration to me. So let me give a brief introduction. My name is Don Roll. I'm a video and photo connoisseur of sorts. Anything media, basically, I can handle. I've been doing it now for a long time, stretching from the days of helping out on the set of Balls Alley, to shooting and editing BTC Star Maker, to helping do the groundwork for ILTV with Eyewitness News, Rodney Monica Show, and all that other rest of stuff, and a whole host of commercials, documentaries, and stuff in between the movie group, Fincastle Media, Island Luck, and different clients ranging from Cable Bahamas, BTC, medical facilities, you name it. I've been around doing a whole lot of stuff. So this really like one of my main passions, doing creative work. I've also been doing a lot of vlog work in the past, and I had a short run with a TV web series in 2011 called the GNN, the Ghetto News Network. You can find on YouTube right now. Just delivering the news in a parody way and a spoof way, kind of real with it. So that's kind of my backstory in a way. I'm leading up to this point, and now with the oncoming of AI, things have definitely flipped for me. Namely ChatGPT. I've really been able to do a lot of stuff, in the space of AI and video production. Made a couple of dollars here and there, and refining the skill. And I think there's a lot of use cases when it comes to AI and video editing and video production. Um, a lot of people fear it for whatever reason. There's a lot of caveats surrounding the use of AI, etc. But adopt it and welcome it as my creative assistant, more or less, right? Um, but yeah, that ain't neither here or there. Let me jump into things. I want to talk about, basically how AI is revolutionizing content creation. I feel like it may not be the ultimate future video, for some people, but I feel like it's the future of video in some sense, or it's gonna change the landscape a whole lot, right? And me, as a recently certified AI trainer, a CAIT, I really want to share this knowledge and show people how to really use it, utilize it, make your workflow a lot more easier for you because it has definitely freed me up to be more productive, especially using it to do things like copywriting and ideas, brainstorming, that kind of stuff. Right. So let's talk about how AI enhances video production. Visual creation. I love to generate B-roll for different clients or projects that I'm doing, for whatever reason it may be. I find a reason to generate B-roll simply because it sharpens the skills and the results that I get is amazing. I'm using Sora, which is also an open AI product like ChatGPT, also Runway ML. Those are two great programs you could kind of dive in and kind of see what's going on with that. But they have really, really saved me in a pinch in a lot of situations. For the background designs in my videos, I definitely like to use AI. Sometimes I maybe want to have a text on screen and I want to generate something that goes along in theme of what I'm doing. So I kind of type it in the prompt, and get some results from that. And it's pretty simple, it's no hassle for me. I know how to please when it comes to generating video. Once it kind of fits and it's clean, I kind of go with it. Right. And I want to share some stuff too. Javon, how am I able to, share? I'm not really, I've been on Zoom in a while, to be honest. Like, I'm so deep in just
So
learning
right at the
stuff.
bottom, you should see the share. You
Right,
should
so
see a
for
share
here,
button. You should be able to go.
I'm able to share particular screens, right? Because I have a lot going on. I have a lot of screens, a lot of tabs, a lot of, yeah. I'm
Yeah,
like a
once you
science.
click on that share screen, they're gonna ask you which window to select, and you
Mhm.
select that window and you should be good.
Okay, let me take it over here to this. All right, 1 second. Okay, so now, which one of these windows? I got a lot of windows. Trying to find, the exact window. How am I able to preview the window though? I'm not be able to preview the window. No?
I'm not sure pertaining to that. I believe what you can do is maybe separate whatever you want to show, maybe on
Mhm.
another browser, so that you'll know that's the browser you're using for whatever you want to show right now.
All right, let's pull this tab out. Tabs here. Yeah, I guess I'll just show the desktop. So I have some really great examples here. Some stuff I've been working on. So, okay. I think it's saying something about, what's that? Oh man, I have a little, can you see? Can you see that? You seen anything? You seeing anything on the screen now?
Yeah, you're up.
Okay, awesome. Right? So it's just there's a couple of things I had here that I was playing around with, you know. As you can see, this is an AI generated clip here. It's for a music video I'm working on actually with some AI music, right? But I want to take it to this over here. This is actually something I did for work. What I did for this is, if I play it here and you see this guy running, this is something I played at the Big Bang, Island Lux Big Bang. They have this game called Run for Your Money where people, run on a treadmill and whoever lasts the longest win, right? I'm trying to get this thing to play, it's not playing. But for this here, for this particular one, it really opened my eyes because it was actually generated the image of the guy running and slapped it over into runway and told it to make the guy run. And here is a nice clean animation. I don't know why it wouldn't play out for me. It's just a nice animation loop of this guy running on a treadmill. And I just thought that was really good. And then I think my boss really liked that one too.
So Don, when it comes to using the software, it looks like Canva. Is it
This
Canva?
I'm in Canva now, just showing a few things I loaded into Canva.
Oh, so
Right?
you loaded it into Canva. So how
Right.
do you go ahead pertaining to prompts? What are some tips you may can give pertaining to prompts?
What tips I could give pertaining to prompts? Okay, let me break this one down here so you could kind of get an understanding of the prompt usage and which we get. All right. I'll just play this for a couple of seconds so you could get an understanding of how I'm prompting and what I'm doing. Because the way I prompt, if you notice, there's a common theme and consistency with the clips, right? Roses bloom, but the thorns never leave. You held my heart, but you made it bleed. Your ex still lingers like smoke in the air. Said you let her go, but I see her everywhere. Texting late at night. So you could kind of see where that going, right? In terms of music video and you following what it is, it's kind of telling a story as well, right? So combining Chat GPT and this song that I created, this is actually an AI generated song. I wrote the lyrics and created the song. I was able to kind of get the AI to give me what I needed to create these visuals in an impactful way to match the song as well as fit the mood and aesthetics based on my input. So with that song, what I did was mainly I copied the lyrics first and foremost, right? Because I want to make it as simple as possible for me to do. I copy the lyrics, I paste them into ChatGPT, and I tell it, I want to create a music video. Analyze the lyrics and give me a breakdown of text prompts that I can use in storyboard format, right? And I would analyze those lyrics and now pull up each section by section. What is the recommended prompts for these? And now I would want to now dive into each prompt and refine to get the results I would need, right? So even with AI, people think it's just a point and click process. There's actually some work to this if you really want to make it refined and professional the way that you need it to be. It's really some work to be done in the space, right? Um, that was everything that you wanted to hear about. I mean, anything else you wanted to know about that section in particular?
No, that is amazing. So you're able to get the AI to give you recommendation for prompts and to also storyboard.
Yes, yes, definitely. Everything, right? So I'll run a short example for you, right? Just to give you an idea of kind of what we could get away with ChatGPT, right? Sorry, let me move this over. As you can see, I got my presentation refined right there that I'm going through right now. Right? My screen is acting a little crazy right now. Let me refresh the page. Okay, so let's say we wanna get a script, right?
Right.
I want a script. Right? Okay. Most people would be told to, hey, ChatGPT, you are a script writer XYZ ABC, right? But I don't do that. I don't do that at all. I need me a script and I need me an impactful script because if I tell ChatGPT he's a script writer and write me a script like a script writer with this idea, I pretty much know it's gonna come out bland. So we want to get deep into the mind of ChatGPT and make it really embody a writer, an actual human-like writer as best as possible, and then we can refine the product from there, right? So this would be something random. Let's think of something random right there. Give me an idea, quick random idea.
Let's get somebody from our audience. Is there somebody that has an idea for ChatGPT? I see Dario Erics is on with us, and he has a lot of amazing ideas. He's been a machine gun last year in terms of putting out films. Do you have any idea that we can feed the ChatGPT?
Good night. Um, let's go with I don't know, someone coming from a foreign country, visiting the Bahamas for the first time.
All right.
It's a challenge.
Someone coming from a foreign country visiting the Bahamas the first time. This is my movie idea, right? So in any way that you can follow how I process what I wanted to do, right? You don't have to do it exactly like me, but you could kind of get a sense of how I'm gonna get the results we are about to get. I want you to analyze all of the top performing movie directors. Well, I'll just say movie makers, and script writers in Hollywood and globally. Search online and embody their mind and capture how they tell stories. With this information, I need you to generate a synopsis and breakdown of the movie, complete with story arcs and other complex movie making techniques. Make it emotional, inspiring, keep them on the edge of their seats. I need a Netflix binge worthy story based on the tastes of modern day audiences in the Caribbean, uh, uh, and those who love the Bahamas and would love to visit. Right? It's kind of lengthy, but you kind of see how I kind of tell it more and more what I needed to pull out. And as we do this now, we're gonna refine it. So let's see what we get so far.
Hold on, you mean to tell me? Oh, wow.
All right. So we got our first idea. Let's dive into crafting a captivating movie that showcases the Bahamas through the eyes of a first-time visitor, drawing inspiration from top-tier screenwriters and filmmakers. We'll weave a tale that's emotional, inspiring, and keeps audiences on the edge of their seats. Title Beyond the Blue. Logline. An overworked New York executive's impromptu trip to the Bahamas turns into a transformative journey as she uncovers hidden truths about her family's past and discovers the healing power of love and community. Genre, drama with elements of romance and mystery. Setting, the picturesque islands of the Bahamas, highlighting both its bustling towns and serene, untouched landscapes. Main character, Emma Clark, a 35-year-old marketing exec from New York, grappling with burnout and a sense of unfulfillment. Darius Johnson, a charismatic Bahamian boat captain in his early 40s, deeply connected to his roots in the ocean. Nana, Emma's estranged grandmother, a wise and revered elder in a small Bahamian community. So let's run through the synopsis right quick.
You gotta be kidding me, bro.
Emma Clark's life in New York is a whirlwind of meetings and deadlines, leaving little room for personal reflection. After a particularly taxing week, she stumbles upon an old postcard from the Bahamas among her late mother's belongings, sparking a spontaneous decision to visit the islands. Upon arrival, Emma is captivated by the vibrant culture and breathtaking scenery. A chance encounter with Dare Johnson leads to an invitation to explore the lesser known keys. As they sail, Emma feels an unexpected connection to the land and its stories. During her journey, Emma discovers that her grandmother, Nana, whom she believed had passed away, is still alive and residing in a quaint Bahamian village, torn between confronting past family secrets and returning to her familiar life. Emma chooses to meet Nana. Okay, so story arcs. Emma's personal transformation from a stressed exec to a woman embracing her heritage and true self. Family reconciliation, healing the rift between Emma and Nana, uncovering and embracing hidden family histories. Romantic development, Emma and Dare's relationship evolves from strangers to confidants, highlighting the challenges and beauty of cross-cultural love. Then we have the cinematic techniques, visual juxtaposition, contrast the cold, gray tones of New York with the warm, vibrant hues of the Bahamas to emphasize Emma's transformation. Cultural immersion, incorporate authentic Bahamian music, festivals, and traditions to provide immersive experience. Symbolic imagery, use the ocean as a metaphor for Emma's journey, unpredictable, deep, and ultimately cleansing. And then we have the emotional beats, appeal to audiences. So we have a complete breakdown of this movie and how it's going to impact the audience and how we can refine further based on suggestions. Maybe we can add characters, maybe we have specific details, that kind of thing. So we can kind of really, really get into refining your idea without writing your idea. But it's still your idea and you're refining it. And it's just like you're writing it, but you're not actually writing it yourself. But if it took you the time to write it, it would have took you way longer. So it gives you more time to create, right? So what do you think
I
about
want to
that?
just take a little pause. I want to take a little pause. I want to find out what our community thinks. I want to start off with Dario because Dario gave us the idea. Dario, what do you think about what you just heard?
Um, I would say, to be honest, I use it to a certain extent. Whereas if I'm, I guess, faced with writer's block, I use it to help me uh, find my way through what it is that I'm trying to portray. So I guess for me personally, it's not new knowledge, but the fact that I saw how he literally breaks it down and tell it exactly what he wants it to do. I didn't know that I could have done that. So it just kind of, for me personally, just kind of um, give me more nuggets as to how I can use it in a positive sense.
Awesome, awesome.
Leonardo Newman, you have been an avid feature filmmaker. What are your thoughts?
I am no fan of AI for creative work. Um, when specifically story stuff. I think if we want to tell human stories, then humans should write them. I think AI is very good for non-creative stuff, such as writing, um, what's the word? Writing an NDA or something. I don't know, something that because another thing with the AI stuff, you can't copyright. From what I understand, you can't copyright AI created scripts, things of that nature. So yeah, that wouldn't. Yeah, I wouldn't not for me, not at this time for sure.
What about your competitors who may take prompts or take, I guess, general templates from this?
It's fine by that.
But it
Like,
would, I mean, you're thinking about, I think, Palm Burnside, she was just in the meeting and she was mentioning the writer's strike because the writers wouldn't have been striking if this wasn't a immediate threat
yeah,
to their livelihood. Like this, what was put together by ChatGPT was very good. It was very good.
Really good.
well, if we want to have jobs in the filmmaking industry, I don't know how we can then use the robots to do the jobs.
Mm.
Mm,
My thing
that's
is,
a good question.
I get
my thing
the
is, how do
quickness
we?
of it.
My thing is, we can't reverse it. So, we find the use cases, adopt, and kind of go from there. And purists and traditionalists, I get it. You could do
Yeah,
what you have to do, but the world moving forward with or without us.
yeah, and that's what with everything. Yeah, it's a tool. You find a way to use the tool, but I just don't know how I would say I wrote a story if I didn't write the story. That that's my perspective, But I obviously other people are using it. They got whole streaming platforms. Probably I'm built on AI scripts right now. It's good. It gets you material quickly. You could just go out and shoot. It takes up. It takes it break. You don't got to pay someone to write a script. And I get that you still have to do the work because the AI ain't as smart as you think it is. So you still got to go in there and refine it. So really and truly, AI just would end up giving you the work to do. So you're still working, but if the idea, and the structure of it is coming from a computer, I wouldn't be able to say, I wrote this film.
There was a case study. I don't know if you remember when Pro Tools was just coming out. But my producer, Mark Carter, he always spoke about when it was first coming out, the entire industry was thinking that it was going to be like, it was going to be like Fruity Loops, so it was going to be like toyish. And the traditional ways of making music using real instruments and that sort of way didn't seem like that was ever going to be threatened. And now today, you see the entire landscape change in terms of persons who can create music. And even AI has seeped into that because now people, AI, you said that you created that song, Don, right? Using AI.
Yes.
So, so we're looking at an inevitable change and it's going to impact us, especially if, we are still traditionalists and we say, look, we're not going to work this way. We're not going to embrace it. It's going to impact us because it has everybody else, from persons who didn't want to use computers, the persons who didn't want to use Pro Tools, the persons who didn't want to use digital cameras. They wanted to stick with film.
Hey, and one thing I definitely would want to say is in the space of AI, a lot of the early adopters found ways to capitalize to just exit the rat race with it. I mean, I've seen YouTube channels with simple generated content, and those like on Social Blade, you type up the YouTube channel, they're making like a quarter million, a half a million, 6 months, or yeah, and it's kind of crazy at the end of the day, what the content does for people. A lot of people, they know it's AI voices, they can hear it, and they know it's AI generated stories, and they still consume the content. So where does that leave the regular people like us who have access to that and can find an alternative source of income by using these tools and knowing what's available and what's kind of trending?
Wow, that is a very interesting question, a very interesting reality. Starting to feel very outdated. I'm starting to feel very dated. But continue with your presentation. What before that? Anybody else has any questions for Don before he continues his presentation?
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Good night. I'm Margot.
Hey,
So has there been any are there any films out there that have been produced from AI generated script ideas that have done really well?
Say it again, sorry.
Has there been any films, that have been produced that have been generated from AI script ideas?
But I'm not too sure of films, like real world films
Yeah,
being produced. I'm not in the industry, or I've never researched to see if that has ever happened. Right?
right.
I do strongly suspect that being the case to some degree, though,
with
being that
Netflix, right?
this will have title, they'll have access to tools before us,
Mhm.
especially testing. So I do suspect to some degree that has already happened.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Why I
amount the
say that,
amount of the amount of productions Netflix was putting out at one point, I was suspecting like how were they doing this? And I think there was like a strike, and I was like, how are they doing this? Maybe AI was in play in some way.
could have been because when you really think about it, um, you know, the machine just want to make more and give less. So if they could give less and get more, they're gonna go that route.
Yeah, yeah. And Leonardo Newman said, I wouldn't be surprised if there are AI written scenes in popular movies. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised as well. And I heard a few experts talking about AI, how you train the AI. And I wouldn't be very surprised if certain studios like Paramount and people like Netflix may have their own AI built that's been literally learning styles of different directors and playwrights,
Oh yes.
that sort of thing.
If you look in the news just recently, Trump took office and he pledged partnership with OpenAI and a few other big AI companies.
Billions
Uh,
of dollars.
yeah, implementing everything into the government system and etc. I mean, it's like, to some degree, we're gonna have to learn some basic. No, it's like almost like the computer boom again and the internet boom combined, but kind of super greater and super worse at the same time.
Right, because all the movies they're gonna start kind of feeling like it's the same thing, and I felt like that for a bit. Like I was like, man, they're using the same type of tropes, same type of, it doesn't seem as complex as some of the scripts you would have seen back in the day that really made those films classic. They just seem like something you could quickly consume.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's fun to watch, but you quickly consume, you don't want to watch it again. I could,
And
could be AI involved in that.
one of my things is me. I'd like to start a YouTube channel and kind of flood with a lot of stories of different varieties and try to make some funds with it so now I could go and have the capital to do the things that I actually can do myself personally.
Mm.
It's
But
all
but the thing with that is like even I mean what you did just now, I've never seen that, so this is new to me. I mean it was pretty good with what it was able to come up with, but I feel like you can't even if you get that idea, like writing the script, because that's just the ideas, right? That's just the skeleton. That's just like the what you're gonna build your script off of. And so
right.
the script itself is what the movie comes from, right? The script is the Bible of the movie. And
Yes.
I don't think AI can even it can't generate that kind of emotion that comes from a person.
I
Mm.
I I
You
beg I
understand? Like,
beg
I
to
mean,
I beg to concur because
see,
I've
but
been
that's
with it.
why I asked you. That's why I
Right.
asked you, are there any films out there
No,
that
like I said,
have that
that's
you
what I'm
could
saying.
point
Hold
to
on,
and that we
hear me
could
out.
compare,
Hear me out a second, right? Just from my personal experience, right? Because like I say,
Yeah,
I'm not out there trying to find if AI is out there, whatever.
right,
I'm just really discovering and searching on my own and finding stuff to play around with.
right.
I've been generating some stuff that I've shared with people and not telling them what it was because I know I've been impacted emotionally by the story and I've
Mm-hmm.
seen the same results to other people.
Uh-huh.
And then when I look at the YouTube channels that I know of that does like AI generated stories and stuff like that, like it's no actual film, just audio and maybe a picture or two, and how compelling they are, it's
Mm-hmm.
like I can't run from the fact that they invoke emotion. They are
I
living
think it's a good
stories.
idea to use it to come up with your immediate idea or your core idea. But I think ultimately, like what you talked about just now with music videos, yeah, I would see myself using it like how the gentleman said, when he gets stumped, in his creative process, he would use it to kind of help him with his writer's block. I think it would be good for that. Um, I just don't know. I guess that's because I'm a writer. So yeah, for me to depend on AI, which really takes because all AI really does, it's just scouring the internet and scouring all this information from precedents, from things that are already out there. You understand? And compiling it. And so my thing is, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I would use it like how you did it to get if I have an idea and just to flesh it out a bit. But the actual script writing where you have to put in the characters and the dialogue, and the beats and all that. I don't know if AI could do that. That's why I was interested if there is something that I could watch, like you could point to and say, you know what, this was an AI
I
generated
would
script.
say, I would say,
I would love to see that, to see what they
I
did.
would say what you would have to do personally, because of course, this is a new emerging technology for us in the public eyes. Like I say, in the past, we don't know if they use it on us or not. Maybe most likely, highly probable. But I'm saying, your queries is best if you just try it out yourself and see, just prove yourself right. That's it. I mean, what
Yeah,
you know the results what you're looking for.
yeah.
I don't necessarily know. For me, I know it works.
For what
I
you're doing.
know it works. You get out what you put in. It works to whatever degree that you can tell it to do. Right? Does that make sense? So if you're really on an advanced level, you can get any outcome, basically.
Can I add something? This is Chris. Y'all good at me?
Yes,
Yeah, go
Chris,
ahead.
go ahead.
All right. So, as far as like when people use AI to answer emails or anything like that, you literally could tell the AI to say, "Hey, reply to this email assertively, sad, happy, excited." Like you can tell it, so it does convey emotion in a way. But I think it still depends on the actor to really pull it off. The next thing I wanted to say was I did put it into ChatGPT and asked it if there was any AI movies, and according to this, there's no fully generated AI movie. So it's possible, as we all know, that people were using it as a tool to get certain stuff done, or even like Leo said inside the chat, he's pretty sure like it might happen to help with a scene or two or whatever. I think that's very possible too. But for us to be creating stuff completely AI generated, I think that's where the issue would be. It would work for YouTube and stuff like Dawn suggested, because that's us being paid off of the viewership from people just opening the browser. But as far as if we wanted to sell our script or our movie that's fully AI generated to, let's say, Lionsgate or Universal, Warner Brothers, any one of those, we wouldn't be able to do it because it doesn't belong to us.
Yeah, and the thing is with I'd say it's another caveat as well to AI generated scripts, that I'm well aware of. Anything AI generated when it comes to text, you could actually copy and paste it into a AI checker to make sure that someone wasn't giving you AI. So it'll let you know, hey, this was generated XYZ, right? You can't run from that, right? So you'll always know if it's an AI generated script or transcript, whatever it may be.
Right. To add to that too, but for every time we generate something, that's being added to the database. So it's never going to be ours. So if we made up something right now in AI and we check it on another AI, it now exists on the internet. So the next time someone was to check it, it should be there on the internet already.
But
And it
let
still
me,
doesn't belong to us because it's still AI generated.
I'll,
We
I'll
can't
tell
we
you,
can't copyright it.
I'll tell you for me personally, working commercially such a long time, the tools and the way I've been using AI to help me generate scripts for commercials and voiceovers and etc. based on the ideas of clients is basically a godsend for me because just about everything I've been generating so far is like almost perfect for the client's needs because once they describe it, I kind of filter it in a way that ChatGPT could kind of understand it better, and then I go from there and create the voiceover, then get my B-roll. Maybe I generate something, or maybe I grab something from online, and it's just been making my video production process a whole lot easier. I could deliver a 30-second video with graphics and text in probably an hour, and it's highly professional. And I really did most of the work, but the ChatGPT helped me with the framework, the groundwork, so I could help get the editing and I'm trying to say, Trevon, it kind of helped me with that foundational work.
Yeah, I get what you're saying too. I was just saying as far as if you're trying to write a book, you can't you won't it won't belong to you at the end of the day.
Oh no, no,
But for
no.
commercials and stuff, for commercials and stuff, let's say we just did something for Dunkin' Donuts or someone around the corner from in Nassau. Like we could sell that and make money from that day. But as far as us trying to get a feature film stuff done, like we can't profit all the way from that unless it only exists on YouTube and we getting watch hours to be paid. We can't sell that to a company.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
wouldn't say to
that
try
was
to
it.
sell scripts to companies, my thing is, I love to create and I love the tools that help me create, and I'm having so much fun with this technology and software, and it's helped me made so much extra side income. And I would love for people to get involved and find out how they can subsidize their income, replace it, or do something else with it. But for me, it's all about dollars and cents. And I have kids and bills. So this has been a godsend for me. And this is one of the main reasons I wanted to share what I know. Because I'm getting ready to put together some courses on this kind of stuff, right? Going a whole lot deeper into everything and how you could kind of capitalize on it yourself and make money and how it could help your process, all that kind of stuff. But anyone who interested in that, you could always I guess kind of I'll get contacts through, I guess if you put your email in the chat or something like that, I could kind of contact you, let you know what's happening, update on the courses. But yeah, I'm moving full steam ahead. There's been a lot of hesitation in the space of AI adoption and what it means for a myriad of reasons. But like I say, I'm gonna adopt it. I'm gonna make some money, and whoever willing to join and find a way to make some money, extra money too from that, let's do it. Because to me, this is so easy. A caveman can do it. Yeah, but any more questions or answers? That's kind of wrap up my presentation.
Anybody has any more questions, comments?
I just wanted to say this was a pretty interesting conversation. So I appreciate the presentation.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
I concur.
Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of persons. They've taken their professionalism to a different level using ChatGPT. They run all of their comments through ChatGPT. I wouldn't be surprised if script ideas, character development, some of the smaller things that we take for granted in pre-production aren't being done in some form using AI, which makes it even harder to compete against international marketplaces. We are already in some ways, I guess, finding some disadvantage in trying to get certain equipment here, being able to access the venues and the sets that we'd like, access the skill set that we'd like, and now the AI revolution is here. So
What I
we have to figure something out.
as Jerome was talking this now, I thought of a very interesting use case for AI because, like I said, I use it for administrative stuff. I guess is the way to put it. I think an interesting way to use it is after you have a written script. When it's time to go into pre-production, it's like I need a list of all the props that are in this movie. Because obviously you might have not been pulling them out one by one as you were writing. You were just writing everything. So I think that'd be a very useful use case because otherwise I had to do that for my last film myself. So
And
and
also to add on to that, because I've done that as well, and to add on top of that, um, you could ask it to give you set design ideas based on what you gave it, and I think the aesthetic.
yeah, I get like I ain't so hard against it. I just think there's a limit to how we should use it. I think we should be wary of how we use it.
Oh yeah, man, you
For
just shouldn't buy it and
story.
everything,
Yeah.
everything in moderation, and I agree. To me personally, I feel like it's more scary what can happen, and what's scary what most likely will happen, you know.
Mhm.
Man, while I could make a couple of dollars extra and available, I might as well take advantage because I can't stop it.
The ma- and then you give mine something good, they just mess it up. So and Adam was perfect and he eat the fruit. So Lord.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, you've seen it. I mean, when I look at this, I think about the different groups that are going to be impacted. I'm thinking about all of those voiceover actors that have been impacted, all of the writers that have been impacted, and I'm guessing um, you're going to have some resistance to it. But seeing what's happening with the Trump government, the Open AI project, and when you're talking about monies like you've never seen before, that's the amount of money that that's
$100 million.
pouring into Project Stargate. And then the Chinese came out and completely dropped the markets in the United States by dropping DeepSeek, which could be run on a Raspberry, which is unheard of.
Woo!
AI is able to run on a small computer like that. When they were thinking about building nuclear plants to power up Project Stargate. So this thing is going crazy. And I dare to think about some other things that they can probably do with this. But we still have to be competitive. And I think that even when this thing gets over processed, our authentic selves, our experiences, the things that we are dealing with on a level of personal experiences is gonna win over some of the nice structuring and synopsis that an AI product can put out. But maybe we can at least get help with the skeletal work of a plot arc, find the problems with it using the AI, almost kind of use it as a diagnosis tool and use our own culture to kind of power us through, especially when we're dealing with the content that we need. So, Dawn, we're going into 9 o'clock. So I thank you so much for coming on. I just want you to drop your contacts once again into the chat. Persons who want to reach out and grab a book, persons who want to reach out, and I heard you mention you're developing some courses. Um, this feels like going to school all over again. So definitely drop your contact, how persons can reach you, how they can connect for a course. Please drop it in the chat, and we'll be sure to get back with you. Thank you so much for meeting with our community. We're going to go into the next portion of this meeting. Want to definitely get you guys out, but I want to ensure that we have this discussion pertaining to your goals for this year. I would have sent a link in the chat. One of the links is the portal to get you to the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture cultural grant. And then the other one is a form, Google form, for a survey. And I would just like you guys, I'll post it again in the chat just in case it went too far up. But I'll post it again in the chat. I want you guys to quickly fill this out. And then let's talk a little bit about it. Let's talk a little bit about, uh, are you closer to your career goals in terms of, the creative industry that you're in? Maybe you're in stage, maybe you're in film. And, I spoke to Leonardo Newman about this some time back, that everyone doesn't have the same goal. Everyone isn't looking to make a film and sell that film. Some persons want to maybe just be paid to do the color on the film. Maybe some persons may want to simply be a PA on the set or to do something in it because they love being a part of the environment, just love filmmaking on the whole, and they're already getting their payment through the experience. So we all have different goals, and with our community, we want to find out how, are we closer? Are we closer to our goals? When we first started off, maybe our goals may have changed, but for the goals that you have at the moment, are you closer now in 2025? I would say some of us may be feeling, oh, so there's a request needed for the form.
Yeah.
Okay, let me check that for you. Yeah, but some of us may be feeling kind of lost because we have done everything that we knew how to get to our goals, but it just seems as though, I don't know, we're not cracking the code. We're not cracking the code. We don't know why, but we're not cracking the code. So all right, so everybody should be able to get in now. Yeah. So we're trying to figure it out. We haven't. But some people maybe, their goals are right in front of them. Like they wanted to be a lead actor in a series, Bahamian series, or they may have wanted to be in a film festival, be a lead actor in a film festival, or wanted to have a screening in a film festival in the United States, and maybe they've done that, or maybe they want to do that, want to get that way, but just want to see where you are at, and maybe there might be some small things, or maybe there may be some big things that we still have to do to get there. So when you're generally done, let me know so I can pull up the statistics, let you guys know where we are at. Let me know, where are you at? Are you closer to your goals? Some person's goals may be, look, man, I'm trying to get up out of here. I'm trying to go into a whole new field. I'm tired of being a creative. I don't want to be broke no more. Or maybe you're not broke. Maybe you're making all type of money, but you're doing commercials and you're not really doing narrative filmmaking. Maybe you wanted to do documentaries, and for some reason, they keep calling you to do voiceovers. Are we going in the direction that we really want to go, or do we even know what that direction is? These are important things that I think is good to know while we are at the beginning of the year. While we are at the beginning of the year, I see one response has come through so far. Everyone else is able to get in, or still having problems getting in. So while you are filling that out,
Which one do I put? I see 6 to 10 years, then it says 20 plus years, but I'm in between that.
okay, let's see here.
Yeah, that math ain't too good.
No, it's not. It's not good at all. Uh,
Because
so
I almost put 20.
that's supposed to be my apologies. So let's put 6 to 19.
Oh, I already submitted. So
Okay. Okay, so
yeah.
we got two responses. Everybody else is able to get into the form.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right, so I see three persons have.
I need ChatGPT to call around or every business in the world and tell them, come hire me to do some work. ChatGPT can do that.
So we have here three different goals on the outset of this response. Three completely different goals.
If anyone is interested in the results from my survey that I did, by the way, if y'all didn't do that survey, I could send that form in, yeah? Y'all would mind?
What survey are you talking about?
I put out a Bahamian film survey, asking people about the kind of films that they would like to see. I don't know if
Oh,
anyone.
you can send it now. Send it.
Okay, so we got four responses. Wow, and everybody is still split at the top. Still split at the top. That is interesting. And that's one of the key things that we're seeing, that a lot of our goals are very diverse. All right, so we got five responses. And okay, passion seems to now be taking up the bulk. Passion is taking up more of the bulk now. You want to do more of what you love or more of what you find important. And YouTube is definitely on, well, YouTube is tied with field and on the job experience. I'm going to share my screen so you can see it as it's coming in. We have Build a Christian Film Studios. We know who that is. For recognition and Build a Christian Studio, it takes up 20%, 20% crew and talent. Your 5 responses. Any more responses? Are there government regulations,
Oh,
incentives?
yeah, I think some of these answers could have had like selecting two things at a time and not just one.
Which one is that?
Like the source of development.
Source of development.
Because I feel like, I mean, speaking for myself, YouTube is always a place to go to learn something or figure something out. But I would have had experience from other things as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Hey man, you got a good podcast voice in them.
and set us up then. Set it up.
No, for real, man, that's a real nice voice.
So I'm going to be the first guest on Salem podcast.
Hey,
All right, we have 7 responses so far. Passion is taking up the lion's share along with entrepreneurship. You want to run a creative business, you want to sell a film, you want to put on a stage play, and you want to make money.
Did did Dario speak about his upcoming feature film?
Dario, if you would like, you could probably share a little bit about your upcoming project. Probably came in after we did those. Uh, yeah, Dario, go ahead.
Yeah, I came in a bit late, so um, I'm kind of shy. I don't like to speak. Yeah, I have well, I did something in December. I did another night of short films where we showed 3 short films. So I'm gearing up. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do an encore because I had a lot of persons who normally support that wasn't able to attend. So I might re-release that one as well as we have a new movie that just came out. This time around, I'm not the writer, but I act in all of the other capacity as the cinematographer, the producer, editor, and director. It's called The Devil Made Me Do It. It's going to be March 1st, 7:30 p.m. at the Atlantis Resort. It's pretty much it's a mixture of drama, even a sense of thriller and slight horror. This one really took me outside of the box. I was scared to, when I first saw the script, I was like, I don't know if I can pull it off, but I think I was able to pull it off. Um, yeah, so pretty much we started filming in mid-September of last year. And it's all done, and pretty much we're just marketing right now. So you can look out for that. Tickets will be $50. You can purchase them from Montco Fashion on Quebec Road, opposite Scotiabank, and all season book in the Palmdale Plaza, as well as another location in the mall.
Dario, be sure to put your information in the chat. Persons who want to reach out and get a little bit more information as to what you're doing. And one thing, Dario, man, I never hear about your castings. What if I wanted to act in a movie, man? You'd be putting out so much movies.
Um, I guess I can say I have a handful of actors that have been with me from the start of it. So I guess I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. But I kind of write with them in mind because like we've all grown together.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but a few times in the past, I did put out that we're looking for persons to play different roles.
Mm-hmm.
But I find that like if you don't speak money up front, you don't get the response that you would like to get.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad that the film industry in the Bahamas, you're trying to build it, but it's almost like if you're not talking money, you don't get that support, whether it's for crew or cast members. So to just cut a long story short, I just stick with, I guess, what and who is familiar with me.
I got you. These are persons who have been with you for a bit and they are passionate about creating films with you.
Yeah, because I started off with stage plays at first, and then I just kind of just put that aside and just more or less focus on film because I feel that film is more far-reaching than a stage play.
And has it panned out for you in that way? Like, because it seems as though a lot of the stage plays have a have a have a real punch to it.
Mm.
Like you would see the Gia Pierres and the Corels. Um, when it comes to a market, it seems like there seems to be some sort of market out there for stage. Have you seen any changes since you came into film?
Well, most of the material that I release rewrite to previous stage plays that I have done. So I kind of capitalize off that. There is a market for stage plays. A lot of people still, ask me when I'm about to release one or am I going to do any more. Um, I don't know. I hope
And and
I
and
am.
you, sorry, go ahead.
No, I said that. Did I answer your question?
Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And how about your venues? You've normally showed screened at Atlantis, I believe, right?
Yeah. Well, I in the Bahamas is really tough. It's really hard to like source venues to show your production at. Um,
Is it
whether
mainly because of the I guess the grandeur of the Atlantis venue, or is it the seating you're going for, or is there a particular price you're aiming for when you're putting on something?
I guess it's a mixture of all.
Mm.
Um, I don't know. I try to approach other places, but somehow it just either the space is not available or I don't want to put my foot in my mouth. Yeah, either it's just not available, and somehow I just end up back to the place that I'm known to show most of my stuff at.
Wow. All right.
So I
Appreciate
don't know
you.
the spiritual thing. I don't know, but to answer, I guess to further answer your question, um, stage plays was my passion, but like I feel like film is something that I was always interested in. I didn't know it in the past, but when I approached the idea of approaching other filmmakers to sit around the table and we all kind of like just bring what it is uniquely that we do, I didn't get a good response from that because I guess, like I said previously, if you're not talking money, a lot of persons are not, willing to work with you. And so what forced me into film was the no's that I got.
Mhm.
And that I kind of transitioned. I had to go and learn the art of filming on YouTube. And now that I know it, I think that's the direction that, God would have me to go in rather than just the stage itself. And if I do a stage again, it'll probably be a combination of film and stage intertwined.
I see. I see. All right, my brother, thank you so much. Make sure put your contacts in the chat, information regarding the upcoming screening, so we can support you as best as we can. So, guys, let's look at this creative career survey. My apologies for some of my missteps in creating it, but let's scan it through. So, we have about 8 responses thus far. As a creative, what is currently your biggest goal? Right now, we have 3 categories that are evened out, and that's entrepreneurship, crew and talent. You just want to find work in the field, and then passion. I'm passionate at this. I just want to do it. All right. So we started off with those goals. One person for recognition or award. You want to get that Oscar, or you want to get that screen award, or such. So second one, how long have you been working as creatives? We have a lot of persons in the 6 to 19 year category, and so I would say that's pretty much very much closer to veteran years. I mean, once you've gotten over 5 years, you kind of have a handle on some things, technology and everything is moving so quickly. Once you've gotten over that, you're definitely kind of an idea where you want to go. So, what is your source of development as a creative? I wanted you to kind of choose one in terms of, what do you mostly rely on? Like for me, I know I have workshops and certifications. I have that. But I think for me, uh, I think on the field would have been where I would have gotten most of my experience to working along with persons, that sort of thing. YouTube is cool too, but I don't think I spent a ton of time on YouTube compared to what I've learned on the set. So I see a lot of persons concur, 4 persons on the set, and then of course YouTube and self-development coming right behind. Do you feel like you've achieved your career goals? Most persons saying no. Most persons saying no. If not, what is the main reasons why your creative goals haven't been achieved? We have a lot of persons saying, 50% of persons saying personal motivation, 50% of persons saying, funding, the money in there. And then we have access to casting calls, job searches, talent searches, persons not calling them or just not knowing when the jobs are available. And I think that's important to note. A lot of persons don't know when someone's looking for a gaffer. Like we won't know when Dario Eric's doing his big movie, we can get calling to do lighting or whatever because we don't know. And Dario don't know that we might charge him. And then when Leo doing his thing, you probably wouldn't know when Leo gas. Leo kind of similar. Leo, you don't do casting, right, Leo?
I did casting, and then no one showed up, and so that scarred me in a sense.
But how did you put it out? How did you market that?
Well, hey, this is a scar from like my first short film ever, when no one knew who I was. I didn't know what I was doing, and I just put it out. I put it in like the Facebook groups and stuff like that. And to be fair, like 2 people came. I think 2 people showed up. But yeah, so since then, I have just called the people who I know in the industry and stuff like that. But like, that's still calling. Like, people on the chat tonight get called from me just because I know them in the industry. So, I just don't put out big auditions. We changing that for the next movie. But, in any event, that's just what it was so far.
All right, touche. And yeah, there are a lot of those stories. A lot of persons are afraid to cast. They're afraid. I don't know. They're afraid to cast. And then on the other side, there are actors that are like, there's nothing that's happening in Nassau. Where do we go to get our debut? So how do we negotiate that, right? Getting each other's goals met. And then we see here, there's a couple 25s here. There's access to viable, consistent clients. Yeah, it's a tough road here. It's not everybody's gonna be asking for a commercial. We have some big names, and then there's some big companies fighting for those names. So that is true. Access to skilled and reliable entertainment business. Yeah, we don't have much persons in the field here that are very knowledgeable about entertainment business. I remember having a friend in Canada. His entertainment lawyer used to find him money for his projects. I'm like, you what? I know about paying lawyers, but I don't know about lawyers paying me. That is crazy. You have your paperwork together. They, people. It just seems like things are things are a lot easier for you when you have persons who know the business side and allows you to be creative. And access to good venues is another big one, because at the end of the day, if the venue is overcharging you and you still have to bring in a ton of lights, audio equipment, all of this stuff, you're losing at the end of the day. And we need to try to make that easier on our creatives. So when we talk about what are the screen and stage goals that interest you most when it comes to getting closer to your goal, we have 5 persons that are saying grants and funding, of course, and then film festivals. They're interested in film festival exchanges and tours, so that's important. Are there government regulation incentives or policies that can help you reach your goals? No VAT, access to funding. I don't know. Yes, SBDC, a rebate program would be great, where you would get a percentage of your money back from the government. Boy, we've really been advocating for that, even on the international side. And we do not get an answer back, which is crazy. What sort of funding would you think you would require to get you closer to your creative goals? So we see someone says 100,000. That might be leeway. 100,000, 15,000, large grants.
Why you think you know me, boy?
Government grants, transportation, and sustainability. The whole question is, when speaking to the government agents, their thing is this: at the end of the day, if we give you this amount of money, will we get a return on our investment? Can you match it, or can you go beyond in terms of your investment? Or are we the only ones? Are you expecting us to give you all of it? And that's a big turnoff for them. But we kind of should have an idea of what we need to get where we need to go. If you were in a position to ask for the above funding, what would be the 3 reasons you should be awarded this funding? And credentials, talent to grow the industry, innovation, creativity and experience, filmmaking, presentation, concept and strategy. And because you have done successful films before, you've managed proper film releases that generated real revenue, and you have a team of educated professionals who understand the business. Okay, that's fleshed out. And the thing is although we may say, look, we have the credentials, the talent to grow the industry and all of that stuff, if you were the person that was in the chair that had to give out this money, you would have to think about which person that answered would you hand over $100,000 to. And I always like the concept of putting yourself in the chair of the person who has to give the money out. Sometimes it's hard for us to give $20 to somebody. But when you are getting into a certain league and you're asking for a certain amount of money, you definitely want to give them all the reasons they can get, especially if they have a board to answer to regarding why they're making a good investment, telling stories that are authentically Bahamian. That's cool. I remember in Toronto, someone told me, I said, this is a Bahamian story. And they said, so what? And I said, whoa. Now, you have to flesh out what that Bahamian actually is. Is that of value, especially to the areas that you're going to be screening in? Here, sometimes it's not even of value to our people. But we'll see. I think Hippie's Kingdom did well from Ian Sean's knowledge of Bahamian culture and being able to bring that out for a particular demographic. I think it did well for that. But can you take that over to a different region, and can it replicate that success? Maybe, maybe not. To get to casting calls, creative investments, and practicality. All right, so So I want you guys to open up your mics. You've done the survey, and you've seen a little, you've seen some of these questions, and you've had time to think about it. Like, what should we be thinking about? Are we gonna approach our goals the same way we've been approaching them for the past 5 years, or should we be thinking about something different? Should we be thinking about maybe collaborations? Should we be thinking about seeing maybe a Dario Erics, Leonardo Newman collaboration? Should we be thinking about seeing? Well, I think Chris, Chris,
Hey,
Chris, you would have worked with Tara before. No
yeah,
budget, right? Yeah, you would have worked with Tara before, and you said you have a certification in the Steadicam.
yes, sir.
And did you work in that capacity with no budget?
No, no, I haven't. Most of the stuff I've done with Steadicam so far is concert stuff and not film stuff.
Ah, I see. So somebody was ready to do the next James Bond type of thing.
Then I there because the money there.
Hmm. So what do you normally charge per hour, if you don't mind, for a steady?
Um, well, at this moment, for Bahamian family friends, usually 600 would be a half day and 1200 would be a full day,
Okay.
which is way below, way, 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 way,
Yeah,
way
yeah.
below the standard of it.
It is. It is.
Yeah.
It is. But
Um,
I'm wondering. Oh, sorry. Another question was coming in.
yeah,
Hmm.
that you own a Steadicam as well?
No, I own it. Yeah, I'm the only person that owns it.
Yeah, you have one. That's what I mean. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool, great.
Yeah, there you go. I know Margot and a few other persons had to leave. But Giovanna, you haven't said anything tonight. I want you to open up your mic and tell us what your goals are this year. Giovanna, are you in?
Hello, I'm a little sick.
Oh, no
I'm here.
problem, no problem. We
Yeah,
hope that
so
you.
I guess my goals would be to do more acting, get more acting roles, and of course, hopefully get paid for it one day. That would be cool. And my goals are also to publish some books, poetry books, and like short stories and novels. I'm a writer, so I like to write many different things.
Okay.
Yeah,
Make sure put your contact inside the chat for all those persons who are looking for writers who don't want who would like to put out 3 movies instead of one. Um, there's a writer and an actor and someone who's probably looking to get on some sets. Giovanna, how has it been trying to get um, on sets thus far?
so let's start from day one. I was in high school. My teacher introduced me to the dentist. We went on a little field trip, and then from there, I went to the little stage play competition. I did terribly, stage fright, blah blah blah. And so my first real acting gig was through the Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Culture. I was on Kentario's team. The name of the film we did was The College Crew or something like that. So that was my first experience acting really. And then recently, this last year, we did another film together called Captain Culture. That was so much fun. That was like my real, my first real acting experience where I was able to let everything go and be vulnerable as I think that acting requires us to be. I do not remember your question, actually.
No, that's fine. In fact, from what I understand, you've done two films that was um, proposed by the Ministry of Culture. But our community, nobody from our community has casted you.
No, just through MOISC film
Mm.
competitions.
Okay, so we got to change that and try to see how we can expand that CV of yours.
This is Shavana speaking.
Hello, yes, sir.
Oh, okay. No, I just saw your name pop up certain places before. I don't know. Must be a
Oh,
social
yeah.
media. Alright, cool.
Yeah. Oh, I was also in an extra in Me and Salem in the Stagger Lee film that Kentaro did as well.
Hmm. Yeah, so definitely Cantario. Kudos to Cantario. He's been doing some great things, and I'm glad he's been keeping you active. But we got to do a better job in terms of allowing you to get on set some more because I do believe when it comes to all of our skills, we have to continue to do it to get better. So, and you just don't know what you're capable of completely until somebody puts you in a role that you haven't even tried before, and you might excel in it. So definitely, Tara. Hopefully, you can tap Giovanna one of these days.
I got my mic to work, so yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. This whole time I was trying to get my mic to work. Sorry to interrupt.
no, no, no. While it's working, yeah, let's talk about goals. Let's talk about goals and let's talk about the whole thing with casting. How do we get our actors to work? Oh no.
Hello?
Okay, it's back. Great.
You say what? You say get what? Oh, sorry. What was the question? Sorry.
So let's talk about goals. Let's talk about how what's your approach to goals in 2025, and let's talk a little bit about casting. A lot of persons can't get on set. Let's talk a little bit about how what we should do regarding that.
Whole open casting calls. I mean, I've done it. And to be honest with you, that's how I was able to find my core set of people that I work with now. Mind you, I still will do open casting calls, but here's the thing. When you know certain people's talents and their strengths and their abilities, and the ones who are really reliable, you tend to use them more often than not, especially in a small island. So it is what it is.
I got you. And what about your goals for the year, Tara?
Let's see. More work, more fun, and just more creations. I'm creating a lot of stuff. I have a bunch of scripts. I'm making them come to life.
And we making a short film together.
And there you have it.
See, when were I able to know about that, huh? Nobody tells me anything.
You'd know in the casting call, you know?
Oh, I am? Okay. Okay, I
This is what you
got
call pre-production? Gee, gosh.
you. Awesome. So,
They're so rushy, man.
so no budget in cinema offices is and Leo. Oh wow, that's gonna be pretty interesting. All right, we are definitely looking forward to seeing what happens there. I don't know, Pat, are you on, Patrick DeVoe? Oh, right, 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 right. I just remembered. I just remembered. Pat, Pat may not be able to use his mic. But yeah, type something inside the chat for us, Pat. Let us know that you're in the house. Um, Nick, your mic's no, is your mic working, Nick?
Your mama mic waking noise, technology man. You gotta wake.
Tell us your goals, man. Is it the same? I know you guys got a production household, but let us know your goals.
Yeah, I mean, not much changed from last year in regards to goals. I mean, for me, uh, the cinema office has some things on the plate this year to get out. So you know, supporting and figuring out how we can get that on a larger scale is always the plan. So for me, that's kind of it. Right now there, then I can see what Javon could do this year. Um, so I waiting on a lot of stuff. You know, I heard
Boy,
that Kriston was in there flexing about his very, very expensive equipment. So that's good to know that he ready to start using that for the common folk, you know.
Say cool story, bro.
you know,
No, man, yeah, no, I'm just excited to see what happens.
yeah, that's pretty cool. I'm glad that everybody's ready to get to work and ready to make some things happen. And I'm really wondering how are we approaching things this year. Um, One of the biggest things for me now has been about, something you brought up earlier in the last meeting, like cracking this market. Um, how are we, when we start to think about film product or even a stage product, like what sort of work are we doing on the front end to be able to assure our investors that we have a market, that we're going to get a lot of persons um, into this product. Like I remember being at a film festival and this one documentary where they were like, I guess they were smuggling filmmakers into Russia and all type of different stuff. And they just they screened this thing about 40 times just to make sure it was exactly how it needed to be. And I was like, that's crazy. But that's the level of determination they had in terms of the refinement of their product, in terms of making sure that the audience that they're trying to get, that they get them. Because they would have different small private screenings with the audience type that they're trying to get. And I wonder, like, are we doing enough pertaining to our product um, in terms of being able to say, look, we know who we want to get, and this is how we're going to get them. Um, that's the sort of thing that's coming to my mind. And then, of course, we have a message. We have something that we want to say, and we don't want to always be stuck to just the the structure of what works and what doesn't work. But that's one of the main things I want to achieve. I want to kind of have a direction as to how to get to who I want to get to.
Mhm. Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I obviously like one of the things I was talking about is having someone dedicated, but I also thinking of like just ease of getting a product to somebody. And not necessarily too easy because then I feel like people devalue stuff when it's too easy. But like I sit home and I pull up an application like Netflix or one of these guys and use it and watch TV, right? So people, I'll always say, oh, well, yeah, don't put this stuff on Netflix. And, well, we all know it's not that easy, right? It's not something you can just pop up and do. There's a bunch of restrictions around what you can use and what you can't use, and the quality of the camera and the type of camera and this and that, to get on these platforms. I sit down sometimes and just kind of try and work out what I think that answer is. I don't think there's one, answer to something like that. I just think we just need to figure out what works. Like I said, I tell you what I know works with stage plays is the way that they push the product to tickets. They have like kind of like a methodology behind it now that works. I don't think as the filmmaker side of things, I don't think we figured that out yet.
You're right. You're right. Anybody else has any thoughts on that? The methodology. What sort of methodology are you going for, Leo, or anybody else really who who's trying to figure out this market and what sort of methodology are you going for?
I don't know. I had a chat with a fellow filmmaker in the States yesterday about distribution. And on that, I learned that I thought the deal that I got for my weekend showings was a little rough. And I learned that his deal to play his movie in 300 theaters because it was an independent film. His deal was way worse than mine. I was like, ooh, maybe my deal wasn't bad then. He gave me some perspective. So Um, right now we just trying to figure out the international distribution stuff right now, while just hosting, trying to do like, local showings at different venues throughout the year. So that's that's what's going on over here. While also trying to, I guess, I wouldn't say we in pre-production, but for the next film yet, but we, getting closer.
I wonder if I mean, I haven't done enough study and look up on the Caribbean side of things, but I wonder how well the content could do throughout the Caribbean. If you had a distribution portion for that to get throughout the Caribbean, if it's because it's from the Caribbean, you get a perception. I don't know. Maybe that might be a way of getting it. Even if you can't crack the U.S. market, if you could crack the Caribbean market, you might be able to get a little more play, right? So like Trinidad, obviously, and throughout like Jamaica and all these places that have a lot more people than we have. I
Yeah,
think it's harder to sell to a smaller population than it is to sell to a larger one.
If it was in
yeah.
reverse,
I know
would you
Chicago.
would it be more attractive to you? Like if it was a film coming in from the Caribbean compared to a film coming from some of the other developed nations, would it be a feature that would attract you more to watching it?
I don't know. I mean, so and part of the problem for me, and that's why I said I don't know the Caribbean market good enough to say if it will work. I do know that I've heard like and people who've done film from theirs in Trinidad and stuff like that, they usually get a pretty good run out of those types of locations just because of sheer numbers. I mean, you come here and you try to sell something. We got 500,000 people on the island. You're trying to sell something. If you get 1% of that, you're lucky. I just feel like when you have more numbers, it's easier to land a lot more viewership on it. But for me, if I watch a film or whatever that's from, I don't care where the film from, as long as it's something that I could watch and it's good. It's just a curious on how you tap into that. Oh, who's tapping into it? Because I know that there got to be somebody tapping into it. I just don't know who.
I think Cargo did um Caribbean run, and I'm pretty sure Maria's second feature film was made in Trinidad and Tobago. If um I might be wrong. Pretty sure it is, but I might be remembering wrong. So we have Bohemians who have definitely tried. I think um uh, based on what Travon, that question Travon asked, I think our films go in there, as Nick was saying, because of the share number, you're liable to get those sales. And I also think they may be actually genuinely more interested in our films. Whereas if they brought their films to us, because we literally right next to the US, like we have had a different, like we just get the Latin American channels. We was mad when they started switching us into the Latin American channels because we was literally the US channels for so long, and they'll give Bahamas get in trouble for teeth and all that time, I guess. But
Yeah.
so we've been exposed to US content almost all our life. And now Netflix just make it, streaming just that's all now is that kind of higher quality, I guess, stuff. And I
Right.
think with the countries actually further in the Caribbean, they more self sufficient. So they've been watching their own films and films from around there, other Caribbean countries. I think way more than we ever had. So it may be more appealing if we actually try to take our films to them.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you could find the right formula, like with someone who has the experience and distribution throughout these islands, I think you could do well. Um, with your film, like a film run.
Yeah.
Unless you guys want to get a few pyrotechnic artists and some dance instructors, and we can try to go after Bollywood.
Hey.
I think one of the things too is whenever we do break into a different country as far as our films and stuff, I feel like a lot of stuff needs to be consistent because if we're not putting out like consistent quality of films, it's like what do I go to next after watching Leo's movie? Like what else is there for me to watch? Yeah, that's right.
That is an argument. That is an interesting argument.
But
But
Dario coming
yet,
up.
but yet
Say it again,
persons
sorry.
are, yet persons are like, let's say Nollywood, for instance, that case study.
Mm-hmm.
There's some interesting Nollywood stuff coming up on Netflix, right? But yet people will still go to YouTube and watch that older stuff that isn't up to standard at all, and they consume that like crazy. And you realize that for their market, it isn't like how the Indian market is. The Indian want they want a sort of choreography. They want a sort of beat, a sort of frequency is moving through them, a lot of colors. But for the African market, the tropes and the characters, seem to be the biggest thing for them. And some of us don't even care. The audio, I mean, you could hear the audio, the video is terrible.
Yep.
But you're watching that. You're watching that straight through to the end, and you go to look for more.
But the thing is,
Man.
chat, they still have, so they'll have, let's say, 100 videos like that, but they'll also have 1,000 more videos where it's good quality. We don't have all of that. Like, I can't name 50 Bahamian movies.
No, my Leo, Mr.
Right, but that's just him. So it's like it's almost like, so let's say this, right? I almost look at it the same way with Bahamian music, right? You have a lot of Bahamians making music. You have a handful of them that are really good. But after listening to the five that are good, like now you have to listen or watch, stuff that isn't as good. So it's like we don't have a lot to offer as far as in numbers. So I feel like if we get consistent with releasing stuff like more often and like I say at a standard where it's like great quality, I feel like we could be more respected and actually seen as, let's see how we could play this movie in Trinidad. Let's take that because they have a lot of stuff pumping over there. It's good. Like it's
This
not
is
just a
true.
one hit movie, you know?
Mm.
Yeah.
Anybody have any thoughts on that?
Especially with the grant stuff. Because they know they're giving us grants, but like I feel like until they see 50 solid movies, they'll be like, let's pour a bunch more money into this
Correct.
thing.
I agree.
Yeah. Until then I feel like they look at us like little joke community group sort of thing.
But then how do we get in the arenas? Because Wakas Man, he mentioned that he said, look, we're not being celebrated like some of the sports legends. We're not being celebrated. But those guys, when you look at where they are competing, they're competing in an international stage. And with the budgets that we're working with, especially because at the end of the day, after we finish with production, we don't have much for P&R, we don't have much for publishing, we don't get in the magazines, we don't get to where to the festivals we want to get into because the money, we don't even have enough money for audio. I think we have to start aiming for some of the larger venues to be able to be taken seriously. And I think the budgets that we're getting in terms of the grants, maybe what we start doing is we start to pool them. We start to try to get productions to a series
So
of
what did you say?
productions, at least 5 or 6 of them that can be at starting at least at 15,000.
I wanna say this too, to add to that. As far as collabing, I know you was calling like each of our names and kind of pairing us up in a way. But if there's a way for this group, all of us, to say, because it's the beginning of the year, if we actually have a goal to say release 5 films, um, 5 of them that won't just be like secrets, like you don't get to see it until it's done, but we actually all have some kind of input or critiquing it before it's released in a way that we
Hmm.
can say the group released it and not just a personal. This is what I worked on. Let me show y'all what it is. I'm gonna release it without y'all
I
regardless.
get what you're saying. That makes sense, right? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no problem. Go
That
ahead.
I'm going to say this right now. I'm gonna be very blunt and very realistic. There's
Yeah.
10 of us in this room right now, in this Zoom room right now, right? and you said like let's do five, like let's do five films. There is absolutely no excuse or no reason why the 10 of us right now can't create that and make that happen. And so who's going to be judging us? The 10 of us. I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's like just do the thing. Just agree to do the thing. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
And I heard that Trevon mentioned something earlier, about like 2 minutes earlier. I think about another member that had said something about we're not being celebrated or whatever. I'm like, what are you doing this for? Is the question I want to know, because I think that comes to the core of it. What are you doing filmmaking for? Are you looking to be celebrated, or are you looking to make good films? Which one? You know how celebrations work, right? It's only after you've completed the task. I've yet to see, like you said earlier, we don't have 5 or 10 consecutive 10 out of 10 films out of the Bahamas made yet. I'm going to be very honest with you, and it's including me who makes films. None of them have been top notch yet. To say we have 10 on a 10 films that we can list right now that are Bahamian and that actually fit that category of being 10 out of 10. Well, we just create it, make it happen. If we actually pool our resources right now, we can make that happen. If you want funds to happen, if you want networking to happen, just do the thing. Like just agree upon it and make it happen. You know what I mean? That's like let's say the goal. Let's say it's not 5. Let's say let's do 2 3 films. If 10 of us in this room right now agree upon that, agree upon the script, agree upon doing the thing, it's already done. It's already completed. So it's not as hard as we think it is. I think we've already made it too complicated. I think that's what humans tend to do. We overcomplicate things. It's a very simple task.
I totally agree with you, Tara. I totally agree
Sorry
with
about that.
you.
Right.
And no, it's it's well spoken. I think there is mistrust, and I think as the gentleman spoke about, that recognition. I think persons want to be recognized creatively. A lot of persons want to be the director, and I think that's why they don't necessarily want to. They want to do it all themselves. However,
I see.
we cannot rely on this pattern any longer. We will stay in last. We will stay in last, being the ones who is in charge. I think we should start looking at what you would call conglomerations, or like creating different companies that are partnering on a particular project. And I think the bigger guys are doing it. You would have, Paramount, and then you have in association with this, along with this. That is a tier of companies that are working together to create one product.
Exactly. I don't think Bahamians have caught on to that yet. I'm like, what do you guys think you're seeing when you watch films? Before it even begins, you see Focus, you see Blumhouse, you see these are all different groups come together to create this project.
Exactly.
Just do it. Just do the thing.
Exactly. And then they'd have, see, the thing I think we're missing here is the entertainment business side of it that gives people the security as to what we can expect from the project, what you are expected of. The person who doesn't have a necessarily they don't have a stake in terms of how it's being shot or whatever. Their whole job is to manage the creative forces that are involved, to manage, to ensure that the budget is, being adhered to ensure that all of the marketing dollars coming in, they're getting what they want, and relaying that to the creatives. And I realized from listening to a podcast by Todd Garner, the producer's guide, you realize that a lot of movies wouldn't happen if you don't have that glue of the creative director or the studio literally bringing everything together. They know how to make money from film, and they get whoever can do the job right, and they pull them together, and they make that film. And everybody at the end of the day, they want to stay employed. They want to continue to make films. They want to get better at it. So they work together. And I think we have to come to some sort of concept that is, everybody secure with, that can allow that to happen. I say with the community that we have now, if we even get 3 or 4 persons within a collaborative team to say, look, let's make a film, and let's all come together and slate when our films are going to drop. Maybe I may not be on the front end of the production, the creative end of production. I may be on marketing for the next film. I may go and do publishing. I may take pictures on set. But at the end of
Correct,
the
I agree with
day,
that. Sorry to interrupt. Sorry to interrupt that. Well, I keep interrupting things. Listen, I agree with that 110% because let's just do, for example, let's say that there's 3 films that we'd like to do or something, right? Let's say for film A, you come on. I'm just giving you as an example. You come on. You're gonna be producer for that, right?
mhm,
Film B, you may not be in a producer capacity. Film B would be your film, and you would direct that. But persons
mhm,
who was probably, I guess, either stronger or what had something to do with the script of the first half wants to switch over and be the producer for that thing. But it's all the same body working to produce 3 separate films
mhm,
with 3 different concepts, but they're actually being pushed out with the same level of consistency,
yeah,
fervor, and also a certain level of, okay, listen, we're not releasing this unless this coloring is done this particular way or this amount of funds have gone to this way. All of them have the same aspect added to them, but they're being overlooked by the same team, just in different capacities for each one. A different director for
exactly,
each one, a different thing, but they're all the same people overlooking it to ensure that the quality that's pushed out is international worthy. You know what I mean?
exactly. And then
And
you
it's
put an
community based.
investment cap on it where
Correct.
everybody else is getting residuals. You're getting residuals from your
Correct.
project. You know,
Correct.
you have a good deal maker in between. And the thing about this, all of the Golden Girls and all of these teams that went off to the Olympics and all of that stuff, an association had to help that. And then they had to get sponsors. So no one person could have gone over there and say, look, I'm gonna go out there and run in front of the world.
I think that's a bad example.
No, it's not a bad example. No, it takes money to get
No,
down there.
yeah, but I mean, where they are now is just, it ain't the greatest position they in.
Oh
Not
Lord.
not I mean, at the end of the
Oh
day,
Lord.
at the end of the day, they may not have performed at gold, silver, bronze. Yeah, maybe they come last, right? But at the end of the day,
No, no, no. I mean, and they're like reaping the money and houses and things afterwards. That's what I'm saying. The example is great. It's just after they got their sponsors and ran and did all of that, after they came back, they ain't got their houses. They still crying for money.
well, that's on the
That type of
government
stuff.
side, but a lot of them made a lot of money doing Diamond League and a lot of different stuff because they are
Ah,
known.
okay, okay.
They have that reputability because they were on a big stage. What if you went in your backyard? Yeah, you may be the fastest in the world, but nobody could see you to say, "Hey, let me put you on a Gatorade commercial or something like that." At the end of the day, we may have to do things differently, and we may have to pool our resources and take on a format that the big guys are using to actually get more films out that are at a standard that you were mentioning.
So yeah, I think Tara, y'all said 3. I don't know if we could agree to a number right now, or maybe we can. But I'm not also saying this so we could, because I don't want it to interfere with our personal stuff we still trying
No,
to
the
do.
reason why I said
Right.
3 is only because you said 5, and I was like, let's be
Yeah,
realistic.
5 was just a
I
generous
think
number.
3 is actually kind of outstanding, and the only reason I'm saying that's because we're technically in the first quarter right now of the
Hmm.
year, and this would be the planning stage. So if you wanted to try to do 3, you need to get all that work done in the first 4 months now, and then the
Hmm.
next consecutive quarters, the next 3 would actually be the execution of said films.
I also think it would be great if we have, let's say all 3 of the films are done today. If we were to talk to Atlantis and stuff like that, maybe we could run all 3 films around the same time, like not at the same night,
Absolutely. See,
but
then
it'll
you would
cut
have
down
something to
costs.
work with. See, you
Yeah,
actually have something to work with because you have quantity and quality on the same scale. You see what I'm
yeah.
saying, right? It's going to be undeniable.
Yeah, and what we do is we maybe at the end of the day we try to pull most of our resources on the front end into I would say PR and marketing, because I think Leo and I had that discussion about building value. A lot of these guys, while before they're even in production, they're inside these magazines talking up these films, and they're getting investors like that. People are like, "Look, I saw you guys starting this film. Everybody is talking about it. I want in." And I think we have to start to accrue value early before the film is done. I think relying on the seats to just give you all the funds, I think it doesn't reflect the true potential of what you can make even from corporate.
So, um, in my conversation yesterday, the guy said they've been working on their marketing plan for a year for a movie that they're just going into production on next month. Next month.
That's how serious it is. That's how you have to have that game plan down.
Absolutely.
So let's think let's think differently this year. Let's think differently. Persons who are thinking like who are interested in developing a studio system and coming on board. Let's start to talk about having another meeting that just focuses on that and what a slate could maybe look like. Let's talk about how we reduce costs together. Let's talk about how we bring in professional agencies in terms of making sure the marketing plan is proper. And let's talk regional. Let's talk regional sales.
It'll be very.
Do we have anyone a part of this group that's like in marketing, like really has done it and like I guess degrees and have the network?
I think Corel may have some expertise in that.
Yeah, she does.
She has some expertise in that. And then we can get Corel for local, and then we can try to get somebody for international sales.
All right, so
Also,
light
I
skinned guy.
guess that's where a thing would come in. That you'd mentioned earlier in the meeting. I guess that's where what's his name again? Clarence could possibly chime in and make some suggestions, if not himself. You know what I mean?
Okay, that makes sense. It makes sense. So,
I'll be
Leo, go ahead.
honest with y'all. I'll be honest with y'all as y'all talk about the studio conversations and all that beautiful stuff. It's a wonderful idea. You definitely should do it. I just have to make Jesus movies. You know, I may not be able to assist y'all.
You write a good
Here's the
script
thing.
with Jesus in it, then we'll do it. It's
Here's
about doing a good script.
Sorry, what am I saying? Sorry. Listen, notice I said 3 films, right? Of 3 different genres, right? So
Yeah, but I can't work on the not Jesus ones.
It's the Leo, for love of Pete.
Leo,
You find your
Hey, I never understand.
you find your
Leo, let me ask you a
suit.
question.
You find your strong suit, and then you just show that part. You know what I mean? You bring that to the table. You know what I mean? Whatever it is that you bring to the table, bring it. You know what I mean? And then we'll find a way to utilize it. That's how it works. Teamwork.
I bring in the Christian stuff to the table.
That's all you bring. You don't shortchange yourself. You get more than that.
Leo, you do commercials or use only Christian commercials?
I make commercials, but we very, very particular with the kind of commercials we make. You don't see us doing the working with the raunchy companies and they.
Do the commercials have like an altar call at some point? Or
we try everyone. So hey, Lovato's put a Coke in all his commercials. I can put a Jesus. I can put Jesus in all of mine.
That's the thing. I think you could do that, even if it's not like a full out say the name. It's like it literally could be the biggest poster in the background of the person's room. Like it's a bunch of hidden stuff you could put there.
Someone was trying to get me to do an LGBT commercial, and they said you could just put the poster in the back of the room, and I was like, "You're crazy."
What a time!
Hold on, nah, that's too specific to what I was saying.
That's very different from what we're talking about. Wild.
So with this concept, from what I understand, and I definitely want you guys to look up the producer's guide. I'm gonna just type it inside there, the producer's guide. I want you guys. We set up a process that we choose the script, we choose the package that goes along with that script. That means that we decide who is the best fit in those positions for this film. I may not be the best fit for a particular film, and Leo may not be, because of he may say, look, I want to really focus more on this or that. But at the end of the day, if he still carries a role and does his part, there's still residuals left. There's still his portion of the film, and then when he releases his film, having participated in these films that are being recognized. And if look, at the end of the day, we know this business. Gold doesn't just drop out of the sky. You have to build up a reputation. One good-looking film isn't going to necessarily do it. It could, but one good-looking film doesn't necessarily do it. When you are consistent and you are pulling audiences to the table again and again, person will say, "Look, you're reliable. Your product is reliable," and then they'll put money behind it.
That's
But
we get down to grind.
yeah, that's what we just
It's a
gotta.
numbers game. It's a numbers game.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
we just
trying to
gotta
tell
do
you.
it.
I was like, no, keep the
Blumhouse
keep the
does it like
quality.
that too. They keep their costs down and they push out a ton. One of them can
Absolutely, but
catch.
here's the thing, and they also have a certain quality too. There's a certain expectation when you watch a Blumhouse film that you know what, it's gonna be this level of this thing. I know for sure. That's what they do.
Mm-hmm. And that's what we need. We need somebody who's crunching the numbers and who can get the game plan down on paper regarding how it flashes out market wise before we really go all in on it. But we gotta develop that structure and say, look, this is something that we are making. This is something that's just like how Leo is going for this rental house and saying, look, this is an actual business and we're gonna try to build it up, and we know it may take this amount of time to break even, but we're invested in it for the long haul. We have to have that level of commitment, and if we get a couple of studio setups
Who got job with rental
going,
house?
you told us.
Oh, okay.
We get a couple of these setups. We have a couple of Magnolias and A24s and all of that different stuff. Look, I think everybody is gonna realize, look, we got to do this together, and it's gonna be about at the end of the day getting a good product out there that actually does something, the things that we actually wanted to do, and that's really at the end of the day what it's gonna come down to. Are we serious? Are we serious about this?
Was that a rhetorical question, or are you actually waiting for a response?
No, that's a rhetorical question.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean,
Gotcha.
it's
Got you. Feel you.
are we serious? That's what's gonna be the main thing that is gonna define if this is gonna work or not. Because I think persons kind of want the slack to be like, look, if I want to stop doing this film, I could just do it because it's my film. But when there's a lot of persons involved, persons don't want to attach themselves because they don't want to show people that they're not serious. But we gotta decide. Because this is a different league and it definitely requires serious people.
So I think you were saying in the next meeting we'll continue talking about that. I think we need that hard deadlines and stuff.
Yeah, that's going to be
That's all.
outside. That's going to be outside of the
Yeah.
BASA meeting. It's going to be outside.
Yeah.
It's going to be, let's say, let me check the calendar now. What about Sunday the 9th of February?
I
Like,
can be off the island. I ain't been up here.
of the
Okay, so
island?
everybody, anything we want to say that's not Christian related, we could say it on that day. Don't mind me.
When are
All
you going to
right.
be back, Leo?
I just say it. If we
We
all
might,
just make Christian movies, we'd be getting on and we could pump them out fast because y'all got Leo fully invested. Just throwing that out.
Leo, I appreciate you.
Throwing that out there.
I appreciate you.
Leo, the Tingham brothers, what their name now?
I mean,
They don't
if
push
y'all
out.
was looking for a sign from the Lord, that's a sign.
We can make sure of
Mm-hmm.
Christian film, Leo. We
Yeah,
gotta
we'll be
have
a Christian film. My Lord, Leo, come on now.
we gotta have one.
How
We gotta
bad?
have one, Leo.
How bad do you think we are? Good Lord.
Okay, so what date are we looking at? We wanna do it what, Friday, Saturday night? Leo, when are you gonna be away? How long are you gonna be away for?
So I can be back. I coming back on the night.
Okay,
Can we do it during the week and not on the weekend, please?
okay, on the week, in the week?
Yeah, in the week, yeah.
Huh?
Can we have the
Or
meeting like during the week and not on the
oh, the
weekend?
meeting. The
Yes.
meeting.
So
Oh, okay. Now I get what you're saying. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
like
hold on.
yeah.
okay, Tuesday or Thursday? Any one of those could work?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
man.
so.
Okay, so let's aim for you guys want to get some time to kind of come up with some ideas, or you want to go into a meeting really quickly, because we could either do the 4th or the
Ideas.
11th.
Ideas. I thought we already had it. And we don't have we don't have scripts.
Well, you probably want to pan out and see if we filled out I guess the marketing end, and making sure that we fill out all the genres we want to hit for this year, how many films we should be aiming for, how much money it should take. Oh, also try to get the grant, guys. Try to get the grant. I want to make sure remind you guys to get that. And then Clarence, we're gonna check in with Clarence and see if there's any funding there. But I'm sure persons will be excited if we have a good team together. I think persons will be more they'll be more interested in actually investing in a project that all of these teams are coming together, I think. So I don't know. Let's say the 4th. How do you guys think about the 4th? Tuesday the 4th of February.
May the fourth be with you.
Okay, everybody's cool with that. The 4th,
Yeah.
Tuesday the 4th. So I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna put that in here.
Trevor, about the grant. You don't have a sample of the application there, because I was looking on the site, but that the
You went to
question.
the portal to culture
Yeah,
portal. Still in here.
yeah, yeah. I saw.
Can you send a link straight that directly to the page and not
No,
like the main page?
no, I think you have to sign in to your
You have to
my.
sign in first.
Yeah, and
Uh,
then there's an icon where it says sample the application, but that's not, not able to click on it.
Okay.
The question that they're asking, it kind of like, I don't know how you're supposed to respond to that.
Okay. What I will do is let me just type in next. So this is the what time is good on the 4th?
Along with next week.
Yeah.
Oh,
What time is good?
as long as we do after 2, I should be fine.
Okay, so like
Just don't do at 5 o'clock, have babies.
at 7 o'clock?
Yeah, that should be doable.
Okay, 7.
I may be barking, but it should be fine.
Okay. So that's the time. Let me
I'm
check
sorry, you can
out
put that. I was trying to unmute my mic. Can you put that like 7:30 for me?
7:30. Okay, let's just hit the 7:30.
Fine.
Oh,
Could we adjust
you
it to
don't
midnight,
lose
seeing
it.
as how I'm a vampire?
Oh, jeez. Okay, now let's look at that grant form. Uh, the older grant form I had. Stop sharing here. Grant. See. Okay, let me go on my email here.
Are you about to walk through on how to get to it? Is that
I'm
what you're
trying to
doing?
see if I can find the actual form that I had and show you how it looks. But I think you guys gonna you may have to go into that portal. Okay, I think I found it. All right.
Okay, I asked because I opened up the website, I signed in, but I don't know where I'm going from here.
You go into you see anything say division of culture?
Scrolling. Said division of culture, and that's it? No.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't see that unless I can't
You
see.
able to share your screen?
No, I'm on my laptop and Zoom was on my phone.
Oh,
Like I can see Ministry of Youth, Mortgage Corporation, Finance, Department of Housing, Social
So,
Services, Marine Resources. Like I'm seeing these, but I'm not seeing.
you're not seeing culture.
yeah, just click on Ministry of Youth on the left side. Then there's a drop down box. Then you click Culture Division, and then you see. Sorry, hold on. I just was in it.
Oh, okay. I see in the side panel now. Wait, where you said to go after that?
No,
Culture division. Okay, I see it now.
okay.
So it's the cultural grant application.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys there. For those persons who are in more trouble with that, I'll send this and let me know if this is the same thing that you guys are seeing. I'm gonna put it inside the Zoom right now. You know if they would have changed it. Okay.
When did you say the deadline was for this?
It's probably gonna close off soon, like maybe by the end of the first couple days into February. I mean, couple like by the second week of February, I wouldn't chance it.
Okay.
Like
All right.
the end of the end of that second week, I wouldn't chance it. I try to get something in as quickly as possible.
And project category would be
Um, you film, you the
and also film.
audiovisual or
It
something like that.
says individual, organization, homecoming, regatta, festival, government entity, spice or
Individual,
auspice.
individual. Yeah, so you
Okay.
pick an individual.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay. Cool.
So okay, so this one that I have here is for 2024, the one that I just sent. So the one that you have says 2025?
You asking me a question?
Yeah, the one that you have it says 2025?
Um, it
And
doesn't have a year on it. It just has
it's just like a format
stuff to
that
fill in.
Is it a PDF or is it something that you have to stay on that
Online.
for
Online. You have to stay on the portal
on the
to do it.
portal, right? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So the one I put in the chat is the old one. Yeah, that's the old one. You want to definitely go into that portal and fill out the new one. But you'll have an idea of the questions they're asking you in this old one. Um, and that should do.
Um. Okay.
All right. So everybody has the links and everybody has the contact pages. Everything is inside the chat. Shout out to Patrick for persons who are looking for Patrick DeVoe, persons who is looking for writers or writing teammates. Definitely highly recommended. Shout out to Giovanna for the comments in the chat. Definitely we need places that are, you know, venues that are easier to work with. But I'm not going to keep you any longer. We've definitely exceeded our time, but I think it was well worth it. So I'm going to close out here. Just want to thank you all for coming to this meeting. And I'll leave the meeting open so that you can browse through the chat. If there's anything else that you would like to copy from the chat, please, for all of the producers, look in the chat for the producer's guide. Look for that podcast. It's definitely changed my life in terms of having a perspective on how the business runs and how a lot of the persons at Disney and Paramount and even the guys who did Transformers and the guys who did the Avengers, I think Russo's, they even had conversations with them. So definitely check it out. All right, so thank you all again. And sorry, Tara, you saying something?
I said cool.
Cool. All right, so thanks again, and let's do this. The 4th, 7:30.
But that would take you all 6 years to finally listen to Jelly.
It's funny how you can say an exact number though. 6 years in
Jelly
total.
was here
That's
now.
funny. That's funny. So you was listening the whole time and pretending like you wasn't listening. All right.
Oh, I might have missed some. I've been in a typing, so I might have missed something.
True. All right then.
My brain was back and forth.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah, but y'all make sure to apply for them cultural grant. You know, if you apply well, you are awarded grants.
Yep.
Oh Lord. But y'all really stick on these calls so long. It's 10:30. Wow. That's like
I'm just holding this on just for anybody that needs to get anything out of the chat.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we're done.
Go on, hang on for their life. The producer's guide.
Leo, you won't fill out my form for me.
You put it in. I send my form in there too.
In Jesus' name.
Well, send the form. Let me press follow. See that? Oh, what form you mean? Your cultural grant?
Some of these questions are in my head.
Oh, I mean, you could call me. I can walk you through some of the stuff. The best I can do. I apply.
I can box to them.
Yeah.
All right.
Because them questions are annoying. And if you don't get the funding, will your project still happen? It's like, what type trick question this is? You're trying to see if I need you. I just tell them, yes, the project will happen, but I will have to reduce the scale, which might reduce the impact that we had planned. That's what I was telling them. They're trying to make it seem sad. Like, we need you. Oh, gosh.